needs unity, and it needs the spirit of togetherness that has not really only got us through our toughest times, and we've had some tough times, but which has lifted us up in the past to our greatest achievements as a nation. Every day I see people of different backgrounds working together for a common good, and we need to bring that spirit to every part of our country and become one American nation, united by shared values and principles as American citizens. We have to do it, and we have to respect our flag. We have to respect our flag. We all have to walk a mile in someone else's shoes, see things through their eyes, and then get to work fixing our very wounded country. I mean, we have some real problems, and we do have a wounded country. Many Americans are watching the unrest in Charlotte folding right before their eyes on the TV screens. Others are witnessing the chaos and the violence firsthand. Our country looks bad to the world, especially when we are supposed to be the world's leader. How can we lead when we can't even control our own cities? We honor and recognize the right of all Americans to peacefully assemble, protest, and demonstrate. But there is no right to engage in violent disruption or to threaten the public safety and peace of others. Every single American in our country is entitled to live in a safe community. The violence against our citizens and our law enforcement must be brought to a very rapid end. The people who will suffer the most as a result of these riots are law-abiding African-American residents who live in these communities where the crime is so rampant. It's their jobs, housing markets, schools, economic conditions that will suffer. And the first duty of government is to protect their well-being and safety. We have to do that. There is no compassion in tolerating lawless conduct. Crime and violence is an attack on the poor and will never be accepted in a Trump administration. Never, ever. Our job is not to make life more comfortable for the violent disruptor, but to make life more comfortable for the African-American parent trying to raise their kids in peace, to walk their children to school, and to get their children great educations. We have to cherish and protect those people. For every one violent protester, there are thousands of moms and dads and kids in that same community who just want to be able to to sleep safely at night, to be able to walk on the streets, to be able to go to the grocery store. More law enforcement, more community engagement, more effective policing is what our country needs, and we need it quickly. Last year, we saw a 17% rise in violent crime in our 50 largest cities. Homicides are up nearly 50% in Washington, D.C., and more than 60% in Baltimore. More than 3,000 people have been shot in Chicago so far this year from January 1st. Can you believe that? Nationwide, approximately 60% of murder victims under the age of 22 are African American. This is a national crisis, and it's the job of the next president of the United States to work with our governors and mayors to address this crisis and save African American lives. Look at the example that we had in New York of Mayor Rudy Giuliani, who's been a tremendous person for me, a friend of mine for a long time, and a big endorser, big endorser. The policies he put into place ultimately brought down crime by 76% and murder in New York by 84%. Think of how many families these policies saved from the worst heartache imaginable. We need a national anti-crime agenda to make our cities safe again. We have to make our cities safe again. We will appoint the best prosecutors, investigators, and federal law enforcement officers in the country to dismantle the international cartels, gangs, and criminal syndicates. And I will stop the drugs from flowing into our country and poisoning our youth and many other people.